Welcome to the Solemn Yu-Gi-Oh channel where we discuss everything collecting and investing in Yu-Gi-Oh! So, this is part 2 to our cleaning cards for grading series. So in the first part, we tried to get rid of some of the gunk on this card and that did not work. And then on another card, it did work. So it's really dependent on which kind of dust or other dirt or grease or whatever is on your card. Some things you can remove, some things you cannot remove. And so in the comment section, we had a gentleman going, well, I actually like to use this one product that does work on the gunk you see on the back of your card. And so I thought, wow, that's really interesting. I have never heard of that. Usually I just use water or sometimes just no water at all. That's the safest route, of course. But so I ordered said chemical. It is called Yugioh, and we'll see if it works. Now, if it ends up working, I will put a link in the description towards where you can find this, along with other things like microfiber cloths and card savers. Basically, so you are set up for card grading the best way possible. But today, we'll first check out if this actually works. So as you can see, let's turn her over. As you can see, this line on the back of the card, that will not grade well, of course. Like this is just a massive line across the whole back. We are trying it out on this card specifically because, as I said before, it already had a dent right here, as you can see. And so that by itself will already affect the grade. So I might as well use this as my testing material, despite the card itself being very expensive, of course. Look at that beauty. Look at that rainbow foil. It's a limited edition World Pack 2011 card. Regardless, let's do this for science. So I'm opening the Yugioh right now. And of course, you do this at your own risk if you try it. I am only testing this out for educational purposes. The bottle does say harmful or fatal if swallowed, so watch out. So I am using a Q-tip and putting that into the chemical, and then I'm going to put that on the card. This is risky. I'm not telling you to try this on your own cards, especially if they're expensive. This is me being a daredevil. Okay, so now I put it on the card ever so carefully. I may have used too much, but we'll see. And we're basically hoping that it doesn't completely get rid of the actual paint on the card, because we don't want actual white spots all over our card, right? Okay. So as you can see, I've put it all over here. We're basically letting it work. I'm not sure how to do it, really. I've never used this before. I'm noticing more of this gunk actually here as well. Danger zone right here. I wonder if that's like enough. I don't know how long I'm supposed to use this. It's not like they give you a manual going, oh, this is how you clean your cards. This is supposed to be for something entirely different. So I think I let it work pretty well by now. So now I'll use the other side to get rid of it. So I'm drying it off with a microfiber cloth right now. Again, link in the description if you're interested in getting that. With a damp microfiber cloth. Again, I'm trying to get rid of all of that because I don't know what the chemical will actually do to the card. And I don't know if I'm supposed to like let this sink in or not. I really have no idea. Maybe it's supposed to be on there for longer, maybe not. So now we look at the card and I think the line is still there. Yeah, it seems to still be there, but is it less? I don't know if is it less? I would have to check the footage because again, I'm behind the camera, so I can't really see. If I got really up close, this video would just be a big nose and that would be all you see. So not really useful, but I don't know if this is less. Maybe I was supposed to like let it sit for a little longer and really do its work that way. Or maybe this is actually like way better. I really don't know. Okay, so what I will do is I will add more and let it sit for slightly longer. And maybe then it will be all gone. Or maybe not. Again, this is for science. So once again, I'm going to put it on the specific stripe. I'm just going to let it sit for a little while now before taking it off. Because the first time, I want to say I let it sit maybe for 10 seconds. And maybe that's not enough, you know. Again, I'm completely new to using this specific product. And so, you know, it's always an experimental thing. So we're letting it sit. We're letting it, I don't know if I can let it dry. Maybe that has a bad effect. But maybe it works, you know, maybe. So I'm currently attempting to clean the entire card with a microfiber cloth, ever so slightly. And what I'm noticing, I feel like maybe I left it on slightly too long because we now have like this ever so slight discoloration currently. Now, I don't know if that means that maybe it's been too much. But the weird thing is that the line itself is gone. Like, I am no longer seeing the very thin specific line, but I am seeing, you know, the spot where I put the gunk remover. So I think that the first time I used it, it wasn't on long enough. But the second time I used it, it was on too long. I don't know, it's really weird. So there has to be a sweet spot where it's not damaging your card. Because I don't know if like this will come off later, or if this is permanent, or maybe it's just seeping into the card. Again, I really don't know. From what I can tell, the line is gone, but it would seem there's like ever so slight residue of where the chemicals were. So I personally wouldn't use that product in this way again, because you're essentially creating damage on the card, right? With that being said, it does look like it gets the issue off. So that fascinates me. So I will grab another card with this issue. We're sacrificing a second card to science. And now I will attempt to put on less of the product for less time than the second try, and we'll see if we still get this odd line while removing the actual problem line. And if that's the case, then we're in the sweet spot. So we have our second victim, Garuzis, right here. So once again, if you can see, it's a bit less noticeable, but you have this line right here. I don't know if you can see that. You have like the thick, same kind of line, and then you also have just splodging all over the card. But the line is, see this line right here? That's the same type of line as before, but then also just odd splodging. So this time, again, I'm going to put the Yugioh on here, but not for as long as with the call from the grave. And we'll see if it's better. And maybe it isn't, and then we sacrifice 2 cards to science. So we'll see. So it's a little bit all over the card, like that weird... I don't even know what to call it, honestly. It's like this very odd splodginess. So another consideration is that maybe if there's any odd discoloration, we'll see it more obviously if I paint half the card, right? So we'll see if that is up to the chemical, and I really want to get rid of that specific stain here in the middle. Okay, so now we'll wait 15 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, now we get it off. The 15 is very arbitrary. It's just, I wanted to make sure that it's not on for as long as the previous card. Also, make sure you do this on a playmat, because your card may slide around a little, and if you have it sliding on a table, you're gonna have a bad time. Can be any playmat, but if you want to support the channel, zerodamagegaming.com has some sweet ones like this Dark Magician Girl, also some other ones. You can use the code SOLEMN for some percentages off. However, let's see if this actually worked. So I used again microfiber cloth to get everything off. So, hey, holy shit, what? It removed it. What the fuck? Am I blind? Maybe I'm... So I may have rubbed it off too harshly. Definitely a possibility. Again, I'm still learning here, but the line is gone. Now here at the top, I don't know if you see this, you still have the splodginess, because over here I didn't go like quite as ham with the product. So it's very possible that like I had to go a bit more ham with the product over here. I don't know if you see that splodginess. It's the same splodginess that's still there, but on the area where I focused, like this middle line, that middle line is gone. That is fascinating. Once again, I may have been slightly too harsh with rubbing it off. Like I noticed some line scratches. I'm entirely new to like using this product again, but that is blowing my mind. So the lines of wax, or whatever you want to call it, on the backs of WP11 cards, and maybe other cards as well, I don't know which ones would have this exact residue on the cards, it would seem that Yugioh can actually remove this. Now again, I'm sitting here behind the camera. It's very possible that I'm missing some stuff, and I need to be more careful when getting rid of the product. The general theory is there. That is fascinating to me. Holy hell. So again, we're still in experimental phase. I will put a link in the description to the product if you want to try out this stuff for yourself. Once again, this is at your own risk. I'm not telling you should do this, but it's interesting. You know, I'll keep on doing little experimental rounds. I'll still use the product on the backs of cards, but I'll make sure that I'm more careful with rubbing it off and that I'm also a bit more thorough when it comes to where the splodginess is, because this corner still has splodginess that the product really can get off. Like, that is already clear to me. It is very clear to me that I can use it to get rid of stuff. I just have to make sure that I know how long I leave it on and how I wipe it off. But once I perfect that, I do think this is a really big deal when it comes to improving like your odds of good grades, because cards come with factory splodges like that all the time. Now, this does not get rid of scratches, by the way. If you have actual damage, too bad, buddy. But if you have residue on the card, it's possible that this is a very interesting lead. Once again, if you have more input, how you clean cards and so forth, put it in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Ciao.